It started with a city above and a city below. One bleached by the sun, weathered and decayed. The other held wonders and artifacts of life before the fractured void. Your adventure is called forward with a simple call for aid. What path you choose will shape how the story is told. Will your path lead you into the mist and forest? Or have you delved into the ruined city of Byway, searching for ancient artifacts and ciphers? Will you grow close to those who live in the city, or strive for power?
Welcome. Hi y'all. How is it going? Thank you so much for being with us here again tonight for episode 6 of Numenera, Stars in the Stone. I can't believe that we're almost already halfway through this game. This is wild, y'all. I am having so much fun. Tonight we'll be launching into episode 6, but before we talk about that, I'd like to get some channel announcements out of the way. How you doing, everybody? Are you having trouble picking out a spot to keep all of your notes together? Well, let me tell you, I have the solution for you as I hit my microphone with the item that I'm about to show you. RIP everyone listening with headphones. Rick and the Raven notebooks are a modular notebook system. They cover many systems, including, oh, that's upside down, including D&D, Vampire the Masquerade, Warhammer 40k, there's another Warhammer system that I can't remember the name of off the top of my head, and a whole bunch more. I believe they have kids on bikes now as well, which is pretty cool. But I've really been enjoying using mine for our Wild Beyond the Witchlight campaign over on Indoor Adventures channel on Sunday nights. Definitely check them out and use the code HYPEGOBLIN if you decide to purchase anything. You'll get 15% off your order, and that'll help us support this show and the others like it that I put up on this channel. You can also go to weirdworks.com. That's weird.works. Actually, I think it's just weird.works. And you can get these fantastic tarot cards. I am loving these. I've had some orders today on Ko-Fi for tarot readings with these cards specifically. And I'm there. It's a vicious deck. It's vicious. It reads me to filth. It reads everyone's characters to filth. It's been so much fun to use, and we'll be using it in this game to predict the weather using their weird weather PDF that comes with every purchase of this. If you'd like to go check them out, that's weird.works, and you can use the code HYPE for $5 off of your purchase on this deck. Now, you may be wondering, I've already bought a deck. I've already gone and purchased a notebook, and I have all of my character stuff written in it already. What else can I do to support this show and others like it? You can go to TheHypeGoblin.com and you can pick up some show merch. You can pick up stickers. You can pick up a Clever Jack sticker. You can pick up a Virta sticker. You can pick up a Hyacinth sticker. You can pick up an Ashlot sticker. You can pick up a sticker that's all of us together with the show logo. Or you can pick up put us on a coffee mug. You can get us on a hoodie. You can get us on a zip-up hoodie. You can get us on t-shirts. You can get us on... you can get a whole show poster. Have you ever wanted a show poster? You got a wall of theater show posters in your house. Well, you need a Numenera Stars and Stone show poster as well. Definitely go check all that stuff out. There's a ton of stuff up there that's nerd themed that I have created, that the lovely AlessaVampp has created, and all the proceeds from that go towards our cast fund, which helped me do things like upgrade microphones when folks want to do that, help replace broken equipment when stuff inevitably fails us. And just, keep the lights on, pay the electric bill. pay the internet bill because that one's kind of important. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and start off our intros for our character introductions. Hi, everybody. My name's Sarah. I use she, her pronouns. I will be playing Clever Jack, who is our Clever Jack. And she also uses she, her pronouns.
Hi, everyone. I'm Emma. She, they pronouns. I will be, as ever, playing the lovable and in no way annoying Hyacinth Fabra, they, he pronouns. Our resident meddling nano.
Greetings, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode. I'm Velvet, fair pronouns, and I'll be playing Ashlon, who uses they, them, and is the resident Amazon robot.
All right. Hey, everybody. It's me, Sir Hecklot, or Sarah, depending on where you found me. I use she, they pronouns, and I will be playing Viridia Croyle, the clever glint who entertains, who uses she, her pronouns. Taking on over to our lovely GM.
I'm Jen, and I go by she, her pronouns, and I will be playing the rest of the world and bringing it to life with these wonderful and beautiful players. Now, a bit of a summary as we dive into the world of Numenera. Chapter 6, The Fields Were Green. No gentle entry today, my folks. No pictures to paint in this gentle summary. Simply a moment to reflect and to remember. An attempt made at searching the library ended in disaster. However, a new map into the byway tunnels led the party back to HELIX IV and to the Fold Gate. Memories came rushing back to the party as they find themselves in the Vaulted Shard, a relic of the far past. More into the discovery of Emily and Rage and what it could possibly mean is met with a new star called Hope. As the burning fields turn into lush greenery, the party find themselves back once more with HELIX IV and the arrival of Tamsin, who has told them they are expected elsewhere. And as you stand below the massive form of HELIX IV, who is sassy as ever, their light kind of shaping and glowing around them, he kind of gives this warm chuckle as Tamsin has turned on their heels and left, expecting you to follow. HELIX IV kind of shifts in a way that reminds you of a ball turning on its axis before you hear, "You better go. They'll be mad otherwise."
I think they're going to be mad no matter what. Just saying.
Yeah. That seems to happen a lot to people around me.
Yeah. Same.
Well, what can we do? Guess we're just gonna... Well, Gertie is gonna follow on forward.
And there's a lot of things we could do, but I guess we're doing this.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of things that we could do, and none of them involve fire or explosions.
I don't know. Again, those are all things we could do. Should is a different word.
Should is not a no. It's kind of like you're put in limbo. Should you do it? Should you not do it? But yeah, we should definitely follow Tamsin.
As you follow Tamsin, you notice, Ashlot, that your strange child has grown a third eye in the middle of their forehead. You don't know why, it just seems to have happened. But they're cute and spiky as ever.
He just sees better now. I'm not complaining.
But You make your way back to the city, and for whatever reason, the travel seems shorter. If anything, it seems almost a direct path back to the Tower of Whispers, and you are led almost directly into this monstrous round room with LED screens, similar to what you had experienced before. And as you do so, what weather element are we going to pull today for this?
Oh no, speaking of weather pulls, let's see here. Oh, we got the Two of Fiends. So that's what, let me hold it up so everyone can see. She is, come on, focus. Focus.
Ingy.
Focus.
Gorgeous.
You know what? I'll put it up on Discord. But she's very
Too
cute.
hot.
She is all of the characters in this deck are incredibly gorgeous. I'm just if y'all have it, check out the Warlock. I'm not saying I'm a little biased, but all right, let's see here. The Fiend. This one is called A Cold Day in Hell. Duration 8 hours. Passive effect. Regardless of the geographic location or climate, an arcane spawned freak storm descends on the land. Creatures exposed to the storm without the appropriate cold weather gear must make a DC 10 con saving throw. On a failed save, they suffer 1 level of exhaustion. How would you like to adapt that for Numenera?
I've got something.
Okay.
You enter into the room and you feel the texture of the floor crunch beneath your foot as frost crawls up your boots and goes slightly across your clothes. You feel the sting and this gentle kiss of Jack Frost nipping ever so lightly at your nose. Your cheeks become a bit more rosy as the temperature of the room becomes chilled. And across the floor and up the walls, you see the fractal shapes of snow and ice build and twist and curl its way up in fern-like patterns, spreading neatly before they intersect each other and stop growing, but spread as if they were weeds themselves. You swear you could see your breath as you see the disjointed form of she who speaks formulate in front of you. Her form is that of a blue, soft purples, gentle grays, and a very subtle hint of pink, as if the snow is meeting the sunrise. Her eyes kind of observe you, her ever curious look looks you over, and she invites you in. But it is a better place to be.
So does anyone have a jacket?
You were the one with the new coat.
It's a little holy.
I have a jacket. I'm wearing it. No, you cannot.
Ugh.
And just kind of, as they say that, they'll just kind of flip their collar up just to make a point as much as anything else.
Jack's gonna stick her tongue out at Hyacinth and take Viridia's arm and just do that, like, I'm cold snuggle onto their arm.
Viridia obliges. Someone turn the AC down to, like, sub-Arctic temperatures at this point. What is going on here?
Whose face kind of flits forward and comes very close to all of you before she says, "It is a memory of winter."
Yeah, well, we remember it all right. Do you think you could remember spring, summer, skip winter, maybe go to fall?
There is beauty in this chaos.
Yeah, it's also cold for those of us that have skin suits.
It is cold for people with metal. As she looks towards Ashalot, and for once in your metal cybernetic life, Ashalot, You feel frail as metal becomes bitter under extreme cold. Brittle in the sense that you feel that if you don't find warmth soon, you might be losing some parts of yourself.
I'm not a fan of whatever the hell this is.
What do you mean? Aren't you like invincible? Like, why is it so
It's like
cold?
99% invincible. This is one of those 1% type situations.
Frick. Okay. Can we come back when you're in a more like cheerful Christmas in July sort of mood?
Being fearful now?
Look, can you just is there like a bonfire somewhere that we can just go warm ourselves around?
The room cannot be observed in order for it to be changed.
Okay, how far back do we have to go out in order for it to change?
She chuckles and kind of motions as warm armchairs seem to materialize behind you, and you realize Tamsin has brought them in for all of you and has placed blankets on each of them.
Jack is gonna wrap up in one like a burrito so that only her face is sticking out.
Thank you. Thank you kindly. Wraps around kind of similarly.
Where were you? You were gone for the better part of the day.
Tracking down more information on Rage.
Has it been fruitful?
Maybe? Says the player who forgot to grab her her notebook for this game. I mean, they seemed like they were close. Did anyone... I found some lint and some old bubblegum too, and let's see, what else? Oh, there were mice.
Mice are cute.
They are. I have several.
The
Jack is...
incident at the library was a curious thing to watch. I enjoyed it, frankly.
You know what, I'm just gonna let y'all handle that one. I feel like I'm just digging the hole deeper. Jack is just gonna burrow deeper into the blanket.
I can't really say the same for the librarian. I don't think they took too kindly to us showing up for the early bird hours, if you know what I'm saying.
He's petitioned your banning from the library all the way up to me.
Yeah, sorry about that. We wanted to leave in hours that there would be less eyes looking at us. Just people that we've called friends are acting a little bit more strangely. So less eyes the better. But we did find a way to get to the old city, which is the direction that we went in. And I don't know, the old building's just, there's still stuff working, and it smelled like oddly like clean, like sterile kind of clean. It was weird.
Yeah, do you know what they were making there?
It depends on where you were. Automations weren't uncommon. You see several of them in the city. I am part of that automation.
Yeah, we didn't really see what they were making. I'm not quite sure what building we were in either, but Emily's office was there. Did she have more than one office?
She had several. She was a researcher.
Frick.
Well, we did find one of them.
That's delightful. What did you learn?
We learned that asking the computer there about rage would send it into a tizzy and essentially fry it.
Some
We
things
found a
are
lot of good
beyond.
ways to fry computers if you needed that.
Yeah.
Please do not attempt to fry my circuits. I would not enjoy that.
It's surprising. A lot of the questions we asked were given answers that we already knew, or information that we already knew. But I don't know. One of the computers, kept saying something along the lines of we would need to make a decision of some kind. We'd have to make a choice. No idea what that means, but it's been repeated multiple times at this point.
Perhaps in a gentle way, something is preparing you for an inevitable. Something that wishes you to participate, but not uninformed.
Hmm. It kept saying something about the Oblivion Observatory as well.
There we go. I was wondering if somebody was actually going to mention it. I was like, nah, I didn't want to be the first. But yeah, Oblivion Observatory, 3 days. Probably going to have to choose something to do with that. Get the feeling you might know more about it than we do, and we went there. Well, not there, but yeah.
The observatory is a lab, a scientific lab, found in the spaces between our reality and another reality, I suppose. It observes a black hole, from what I understand. I've never been. I can't reach it.
It was
It's
coming.
nice to get some straight answers.
Yeah. Kept saying that it was coming into alignment.
Alignment.
What did it, was it 3 days that it was coming into alignment?
4 days, 3 or 4 days, something like that.
Okay.
Well, a space between spaces is only temporary. You have to find the right door.
Y'all think that's what we're being pushed towards? Going there? She'll look to the other party members.
Maybe. It wouldn't be the strangest thing we've been pushed towards at this point. The singing and the birds and everything else.
I don't know, singing
direction
and
we
birds are
got.
things that exist in this reality. Like, I would say this is still stranger.
Perhaps. I guess there's only one way to find out, huh?
He who
It's true.
speaks offers a tilt of her head and almost an acknowledgement of she's satisfied with that answer.
So yeah, that's what we learned. Found a picture of Rage. Looked a little less ostentatious than what we found in the library. Yeah.
Not everything is as it seems.
Okay, that tracks with how this whole thing has been playing out so far. What isn't as it seems? Can we get another straight answer, or is it going to be a cryptic one? Cryptic one.
Just chuckles and says, I made my promises. I simply just watch from here on out.
Promises to who?
She kind of steps back and looks to you, Ashlot. You have a few friends in the city looking for you. I thought you should know.
Oh. What kind of friends?
Their armor gleams like gold.
Interesting. Well, I appreciate you letting me know.
She nods, and the door behind you swings open, and Tamsin bows their head gently and kind of plucks the blankets away from you.
Guess that means we've got someone else to talk to. Or someone we should probably avoid, which, in my experience, kind of the same thing.
Sarah?
You're muted.
Yeah, can I just borrow that blanket a little longer? It's really cold in here. I don't like being cold.
Tamsin blinks their eyes and looks towards the door, then looks towards you, Jack.
There's like 3 yards between me and the door, okay? Jack grumbles all the way to the door.
Tamsin calls to you and says, I like honey in my lattes.
Thanks a latte. I enjoy oat milk.
They blink a little. Okay.
I'm not on my A game right now, okay? I'm cold. I have one brain cell and it's just focused on heating my body.
Aston's just stood the other side of town and just...
Oh. Ugh. Jack's just gonna go out the door. She's not having a good time.
Well, this is awfully fitting for the room that we're in. Very cold, but guess we're on our way.
All right. Where are you going as you head out?
Well, is there any particular spot we want to go first?
I don't know. Ashlot, you want to go check out who's looking for you?
You know, probably better to deal with that as soon as possible.
All right.
Just so we know, these are the kind of friends that are. Is it the sarcastic kind of friends that we should be careful about, or actual friends that we are very much seeking to meet?
Good question. I would assume the former until we can confirm the latter.
Fair enough.
Whatever they're here for, I can't imagine they're that subtle. So, I'm sure somebody's seen something.
Are they big, tall metal people like you, or is their armor just gold?
The armor is just gold.
Okay. Just making sure.
All right.
As you leave the Tower of Thoughts, the door clicks behind you, and Tamsin is going in the other direction away from you, more towards the guild houses. Much done. And the main market isn't too far from the Tower of Thoughts. It's maybe 100 yards at best. And that's generally where most people would go after coming in through the tunnel feed.
All right, then I guess we'll head there.
You head there, and the bustling of people is ever present, people slipping past each other, doing the awkward dance of not touching but touching as they kind of crowd in the space. And music is heard overhead, and the dim blue lights kind of dance and spark here and there. And as you kind of push your way towards the center of the market, Ashalot, and I would say Cleverjack, with your perceptions, you can roll an intelligence. I would say Hyacinth as well.
Ooh, an intelligence roll. I'm historically mediocre at these despite my stats.
What a mood.
I rolled a 5. We're
Alright.
starting out subpar today. Hell yeah.
Is this specifically a perception thing I can roll for?
Yeah, it's just a perception thing. It's more of helping Ashalot spot their companions. Very good.
See, that's my best thing.
Yeah, okay.
19.
19 and 17. Between you, Ashalot, your sheer height gives you an advantage, but your observation and study, Hyacinth, kind of gives you the patterns of when people are starting to part for larger individuals. It's kind of watching as if a riptide was coming in towards the shore. It's kind of that effect. You know it when you see it. And as you kind of both ping on this movement and subtle, less than subtle being in front of you, you see a rather tall individual with golden armor kind of bending down what looks to be a cloth store, and they're kind of holding up something of a really horrible checkered pattern, and they kind of nod to themselves and pay for it and take the entire bundle and kind of stuff it into their bag.
Do I recognize this individual?
You do. They are a woman that has served under you. Let me pull up their names real quick. They are a bit of a kind and welcoming person. They often made sure your company was taken care of. They were more of a, we do the supply runs because it will help us survive sort of person. And they would always make sure that people knew their charts, knew how to do things. They were the general welfare manager of your company. And I'll show you their, yes, show it to everybody. They had these far and grandeur kind of visions of planning for things, and would often be very meticulous about things, not always panning out for the best, but they often had their heart in the right place. Neve is one of those people that you can depend upon. They would rarely disobey an order. They would only do so if it was in the best interest of their company.
Okay. Are they the only one I'm spotting right now?
Yeah, currently the only one.
I'll approach until I'm, maybe 10-ish paces away, and assuming they don't notice me first, I'll just call up their name. Neve.
They turn around holding this kind of horrible checkered cloth as they had pulled it back out of their bag, and they kind of tilt their head at you and look you over quickly. They kind of tilt their head and say, "Do I know you, friend?"
It's Ashlot. I
There's
heard
a-
you were looking for me.
There's a pause as they kind of step closer towards you and look you over. No way. You actually turned into a cybernaut as they kind of turn you around gently at the waist and pull you back towards them. And then kind of clutch your face before they bring you into a big hug. We've been looking for you all over the 5 cities. We were at the desert and suddenly you were just not there. You just left. Where were you?
I'll return the hug one-armed, more of like a pat than like, a bear hug type thing.
Hmm.
I've been around. It just kind of spat me back out the other end like this.
We didn't know what to do. Woodrow had to be in charge of everything as they kind of nod behind you, and you see a shorter man, kind of shorter than you, and they kind of just looking up at you, looks towards your companion, kind of grumbles softly before they step towards you, holding what looks to be a cipher, and says, "This one explodes, and I quite like it."
I'm glad to see you haven't changed.
They give a small smile and pull you into a hug. Man, things gone to shit since you left Ashlot. Should come back home.
How have they gone to shit? The whole point is that things don't go to shit if we lose one person.
Yeah, that's the thing though. That obelisk triggered something. Pulled some sort of defense out of the ground. Scattered our people left, right, and center.
Shit.
We collected a lot of them back, but you were our main concern for a while.
So what's the goal now? Is everyone just running around gathering up the stragglers?
Mostly gathering up the stragglers. We're trying to piece it all back together. It's been hard, though. Most of us stayed in the south, sure, but some of us ended up out in the east and some further west than we can go. We set up radio contacts, but not many are getting through.
So what's the standing force then? How many were you able to get together?
We managed to recollect about 65 of us. We're still looking for the other 20 or 60.
Be back in a flash, sorry, folks.
If they say that, they'll turn towards the rest of you.
Hi.
Woodrow kind of peers at you and says, "Do you have a place we can, sit? We've been up for the past 3 days traveling here."
Why? Are there no hotels? Motels? Holiday
Arrived
Inns?
an hour ago.
Right. You're not gonna kill us if I take you back to my apartment, right?
Nobody's paying me to kill you.
Right. Well, I will pay you not to kill me, and you can crash in my apartment. How's that sound?
All right,
That's
it's
the payment.
150 cents.
No, that's the payment. Give me a place to crash for free.
Woodrow considers it, and Dave kind of says, "We'll take it.
Okay.
We'll just be glad we're off our feet."
All right. Let's Okay, let's just. I'm gonna need more beer. Jack will direct everybody towards her apartment, and I guess we'll stop for and just restock supplies on the way there.
David's a tall, slender. Their armor kind of bulks them out a bit more. Dark skin, full lips, soft brown eyes, kind of a straight nose, high cheeks, curly black hair that comes down to their shoulders. They seem to be observing the area around you, as Woodrow doesn't seem to be paying attention, kind of fiddling with their cipher. He's a shorter man with brownish hair, a bit of a tan complexion, thinner lips, kind of a broken nose sort of deal. Has scars across his forehead. Observant brown eyes, but they don't seem to care or notice the people who are parting for him as he kind of moves ahead without you.
So, y'all just staying here for a while or passing through?
Just came to get Ashalot.
And if Ashlot doesn't want to go with y'all right now, is that cool?
They are free to choose, but the company always comes first.
Right.
We'll stay as support, as is the protocol. If Ashalot has things to do here, we'll support that the best we can.
Mm-hmm. So you said that the obelisk that changed Ashlot scattered your people?
Yeah. Son of a bitch burst out of the ground after Ashalot vanished. It's kind of weird.
What exactly were you doing around that thing? Is it like a major landmark or?
Yeah, served as a landmark for the company for the past 100 years or so. It's pretty well known in the waste, and if you can find it, you can find civilization, basically. There's smaller cities out about 25 miles from where the obelisk was.
Right. That's kind of cool. Right. You didn't happen to notice any AI around this obelisk, did you? Any?
We have AIs in our company.
No, just the obelisk. Like it didn't name any AIs based on emotions, did it?
No, probably old world tech, honestly. Probably a defense system made for one of the cities long ago.
No, okay. Well,
Big
then I'm out of
fucking
questions.
crab bursts out of the sand as Woodrow kind of makes a motion with his hands.
Well, then I'm out of questions. Who wants a beer?
I want to. Woodrow kind of reaches over and takes two.
Jack will pass out refreshments and kick her feet up on the coffee table.
Clarity exactly how crowded is this house now, because it wasn't big to begin with.
Oh, it's crowded. It's
Exactly.
like, like when you're in university and you have people, like you have a little flat, like your own little room, and you have like everybody on the floor over for drinks, even though you're not supposed to.
Squeeze it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Allegedly.
that. Like we're sitting, like people are sitting on the floor, but there's at least space to safely sit in here. But yeah, it's not big.
Woodrow kind of leans back and kind of taps their armor, and you see it kind of fold in on itself, leaving a very slender and smaller man on the inside. And you see the medical symbol on their chest, denoting them as a doctor. He kind of leans towards all of you and says, I like it down here. Much more cozy than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it definitely has its charms.
But yeah, like we said, we just came to pick up Ashelot and, well, more or less to find if they were here. We got some chattering on our radio that golden armor individual was this way. We had to check.
We
Lucky
just
for you,
came down
hard
to
to
pick
miss.
them up. Go on.
Say again?
Oh, sorry. I just said lucky for you. I'm hard to miss.
Yeah. Lucky for us. We're one of a kind. As Nave kind of tilts their beer up and drinks it. They said you have stuff to do here, Ashelot?
Yeah, just wrapping up a job.
Alright. We could stay on the surface if you want to finish it alone. No skin off our nose.
Yeah, I think I want to see this one through.
Alright. The company will wait for you then. That's all we can do. The others will be fucking happy to see you though, let me tell you.
Until I put him to work.
When Ro laughs, they need to be put to work. What is this? And you see Nave kind of reach over for your plastic little lizards there, Jack.
Oh, those are my drinking lizards.
Drinking lizards. You put them in your drink and you drink them?
No, see, so there's this massive drink.
You muted yourself.
There is this massive drink. Don't laugh at me, guys. I swear I'm a professional. Okay, so there's like this massive drink, right?
Uh-huh.
And the bar serves it, and if you drink the whole thing, you get to keep the lizard, and sometimes there's a prize inside. Last time we went drinking, Bearda had one for the very first time. Got a prize.
The prize is another drink, but it was very good.
Yeah. Yeah. Big drinks. Like it's a big drink. It's really good. As you can tell. I'm a connoisseur.
Ro looks to you, Ashley. I mean, we could come here during the spring. I mean, we could always use a hiatus this way. Good break. It's good for company morale.
The mushrooms are extra vibrant in the spring. That'd be a good time to be here.
Hey, works for me.
Woodrow kind of pulls out a notebook and writes it down. Hiatus in the north and the Averfell below. Thanks, boss, as they put it away, and he kind of relaxes, putting his feet up. So the chatter we got, as Nave kind of leans towards you, that was weird. Specifically drew you out and all that chatter.
What'd it say? Did it say that they're a super neat Amazon metal person? Was that it? With big metal muscles and a gleaming face that could just stop a stampede dead in its tracks from sheer beauty?
Not in so many words, but yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Very robotic though, so it must have been one of the transmission AIs this city must have. I thought it was a distress signal at first. Don't get many of those, so we followed it.
When was this? Earlier today?
No, it was about 4 days ago.
Okay.
Well, old news then, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it might have been the thing that was the. Might have been the library that sent that out.
Oh.
But, yeah.
The only.
I mean, it was still
transmission-
probably our fault, but maybe not that specific kind of our fault.
Not at all. In fact, that initial transmission should be the only one you listen to, and the other ones you get were false flags planted by yours truly.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Ignore them entirely.
none of it ever happened.
Both give you all a very hard look. All right.
Jack just has a big shitting grin on her face.
Well, once we're done here, we'll go back above. There's a little tea room we'll book up in. Just find us there when you're all done, Ashlot.
Will do. Probably have a couple good stories by the end of it.
Woodrow kind of nods before he kind of frowns deeply. We were asked to retrieve you as soon as we found you. Pull you back into the south. I'll just say we never found you yet.
I mean, if
Appreciate
any
that.
of us really found each other.
Got a good
Gotta
company
find
here.
ourselves before we find each other.
Woodrow laughs as they kind of drink the rest of their beer, and he kind of looks up at the ceiling and frowns. Got a big mice problem.
Hey, don't talk that way about my pets.
No, literally, he points up.
Looks up.
There's a rather large mouse staring down at you from the ceiling.
How dare you speak to Henrietta like that?
Oh, it's a pet. Okay, then I'm not gonna worry about it.
Jack will reach up and get the very large mouse down. It's one of the brown ones.
It's one of the mutated mice that got loose from the labs a long time ago, and everybody just has kind of accepted that they exist in the city now.
Yeah, they're fairly docile, kind of like a squirrel when you feed it for long enough. They just come take food from you.
The size of a chinchilla.
Oh wow,
That's a big ass.
that's a chunky mouse.
Yeah,
That's a rodent of unusual size right there.
Hey,
exactly.
Yeah, Jack will hold this kitten-sized mouse, apparently.
Woodrow and Nave will finish their beers and kind of stand up quietly, more quiet than their armor should allow them to move about, and they'll give you a nod, Ashlot, and say, "Just ring us when you need us. Whoever wants you back south is paying us pretty good to bring you home."
I'm interested to know who it is.
So are we. Anyways, good night in your weird cat rodent thing. As Woodrow kind of heads out, and Dave gives a nod and shuts the door quietly.
Well, I like
Carson will just go over and pat Jack on the shoulder and say, "Don't listen to him. You're our weird cat rodent thing."
You are just
Muted.
rude. You are so. Ugh.
Just
Why
like
are you
that, the
extra
room
awful
heats up
today?
again.
Jack's gonna crack another beer. All right. Well. Wait, they don't know who's wanting you to go back? Do y'all not
No.
vet who's hiring you first?
You know, procedure can be circumvented if the fee is high enough.
Huh. That seems incredibly dangerous, mysterious, and I want to know more. Can I go with you?
If you want.
Okay. So, did we actually... Not to, get immediately back to work or anything, because, we are just all sitting around here drinking for now, but, did we actually get Hope while we were there? Everyone check your pockets. Jack's gonna pat herself down to see if a rock is in her pockets anyway.
Viridia, sorrow is in your pocket, and Hyacinth, hope is in your pocket.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, still right here. And just kind of fish into one of inside Jack's pockets and pull out a star.
Does it sing at all? Because if I remember correctly, last session we didn't interact with the stone.
No, you
Did
didn't
we?
interact with the stone. You more interacted with a computer who
Yeah.
kind of pulled you through a time-dimensional space fold
Yeah.
and put you back to where you
You
needed
know
to
that
be.
old story.
But no, hope has been silent.
Yeah, this one
Maybe we
a
need to
lot quieter than its friends.
maybe we need to smush them together.
Make the
That
rocks
sounds
kiss.
incredibly dangerous,
Here, I'll
but
do
if you want to try.
I mean, Ashlot already said yes, so they
Now kiss.
volunteered. I think yeah. I'll just stand back here behind the kitchen counter.
God, first you want to make things explode.
Yeah, okay, I know how to safely use my explosives, okay? I don't know how to safely use that, but I figure that Ashlot is probably the best candidate for the job for this one.
Jack, you also have the data cube in your pocket, don't forget.
Oh yeah, I also have this thingy. We should probably go visit Nate.
Do we want to visit Nate and read the data cube before we try to make the rocks kiss?
Nah, I want to make him kiss.
In your apartment.
I got insurance. It's fine.
All right.
Renter's insurance.
Have you
should
actually
always get
got
it.
insurance?
Yes, it was required for me to lease this place.
But does your renter's insurance cover walls that are doors and doors that are walls?
It covers acts of deities, which technically we could just claim this as an act of a deity. So it's just go for it.
I mean, if you shout long enough about a deterministic creator, you can write most things off as an act of God. I've actually used that one once.
I have Golden God on my CV, so if I make a thing blow up, it's technically a write-off.
Good to know.
Perfect.
Very
All
well.
right, storyteller,
I'm s-
I will make the rocks kiss.
I will leave the room before they do.
It's not a very big flat, so you'll have to kind of step outside to
Yeah.
leave the vicinity.
They leave the door open, but they are leaving the house.
All right.
Are you just outside peering in from the door?
Yes.
That's very smart. As you make the stars kiss in your words, you see almost a shift of reality around you, encompassing the space. And the fields that were once on fire are now a luscious green, vibrant and full of life. The fields are fertile and growing lush crops. And as you look across the skyline, you see almost this double-ended pyramid made up of blues and grays, kind of pulling itself up out of the ground. There's a pulsing wave that kind of echoes and shimmers across. And you see almost the sky that was blue and full of clouds kind of shudder and shake to that of a night sky full of stars, and the moon just present and calm. You hear the sound of crickets chirping in your ear, and it's a peaceful, quiet moment. You know this to be the Aberfell. Even you, Ashalot, who's only seen the fields briefly, know this to be Aberfell and its lush gardens. Then the image shudders. And you see flame flickering, pulsating on top of what you're seeing, as if two realities are trying to fight for dominance in this space. You see the destruction of one world and the creation of another, and it folds and twists and bends on itself before, once again, you just see the fields of green grass before you. The river kind of twisting its way across the city. Calm. Before the scene shifts erratically. And you are staring at a laboratory with scientists examining you. You are small and almost insignificant under their gaze. The space is too big, and you feel as if you want to escape. You want to get out, but you can't. You are unable to, but then you understand that there is a connection reaching out towards you, 2 points of light just in your peripheral, and your heart soars with joy as you see a blonde woman come in, notepad in hand, cold, steely blue eyes, firm and strict stature. You recognize her. The matriarch of the Declicions is staring down at you, and she says, "If they can't tell us where the others are, this will simply have to do. 1 star is good enough for us, I suppose." As your vision shatters and you are brought back into your humble little hole of Jack's home.
Storyteller, how much of that did I see?
You all saw of it.
Oh.
Well, that didn't seem good.
Not at all.
So the Declicions have a star?
That's what it sounded like.
What are they using it for?
Nothing good, probably.
Wonder which one it is.
Oh gosh. Are we gonna have to steal it from them?
Oh, we're absolutely going to have to steal it from them.
Question is how. We saw how airtight everything was.
It's never that complicated. You just take it and then you keep it. That's how stealing works.
Well, yeah, but we also have to find it first without...
Oh, sure, but that's a different thing.
Oh yeah, the stealing part's easy. It's the repercussions I'm a little bit more worried about.
I've never worried about repercussions in my life, and look where I am now.
Ashlot, how does the March feel about explosions and explosives experts?
Big fans. We have an entire division for it.
Cool. Definitely gonna be traveling with you after this. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to leave town. I'm gonna have to sell all my possessions. Will I be able to take my lizards with me? What about all the mice? Who'll take care of the mice?
I mean, if you really love something, you might have to let them go. The lizards you can take with you, though.
That's true. What time of day is it?
It's pushing about noon.
Well, should we go listen if this data cube has anything on it and see if that gives us any clues as to whether or not we even need the star? Because I mean, if we don't have to provoke the Declisians, I would really rather not, because they scare me, and not in the fun danger sort of way, in the they scare me sort of way.
I mean, from our last conversation with them, I kind of got the feeling that we've provoked them anyway just by being involved in all this. I think that
Madame
may have been
Declisian still
fast.
scares me in that first way.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also armored, so
Yeah.
we should listen to the data cube, since we can't really, storm the castle in broad daylight. So might as well see what's on it.
Yeah. I wonder if we could get some roundabout help from the Sisters of the Watch. On the down low. Like maybe if She Who Speaks wants us to get that other star, then Tamsin would be forced to help us and not arrest us if we get caught. Or at least help us hide.
Everything you've told me about the Declisians so far suggests that if they catch us stealing from them, prison might not be that much of an issue.
Yeah, I don't think we'll make it out of that mansion if they catch us, to be honest.
Yeah. Which is why I was planning on not getting caught.
Good plan.
Yeah, good. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I assume
Well.
that plan you factor in that I am not good at not getting caught.
I said I was planning on not getting caught.
Oh,
Yeah, how are your friends so quiet when they move? They're wearing a lot of armor. And you're basically armor.
we're given a choice when we join up as to what kind of armor modality we want to use. Some people opt for something stealthy. Some, like those two, opt for something versatile. I was shown a tank, and I understood that assignment.
That's fair. You know, I've never seen a tank in real life, and I would like to actually see, like, an actual tank. Like, I've seen you, and you are incredibly impressive, but, like, an actual, like...
It's more of a ceremonial piece than anything. It is a pain in the ass to actually get going.
Oh.
Kind of not worth the effort.
Can I still fire something out of it?
Yeah.
Then I want to see it. Jack's gonna take a third beer for the road with her.
That's fair.
Guess they're pre-gaming now.
After today has gone this way, it's
Listen,
only noon. You know
It's
what?
noon. It's not before 11 a.m., so you're in the clear.
Right? Gosh. So much stress. Big stress. Jen, we did have an oddity redemption, by the way. RJ would like to talk to us about our cipher insurance.
All right. Okay. Who's it going to?
I think it was honestly for renter's insurance. this apartment.
That's fair. So, to renter's insurance, a box containing a living eyeball that feels warm to the touch when stared at intently.
I got a weird insurance policy. But okay. That's fine, I guess.
Like, oddities are the least practical thing in this game, and that's saying a lot.
This game is so weird. I love it.
All right. Beer for the road, heading out, going to Nate's. All right. Heading towards your favorite cipher dealer. You head towards the outskirts of the city. It's bustling and it's noon. People are out and about for lunch and stuff like that, shopping and general supply runs. So it's a busy part of the day, more or less. It takes you a bit longer to cross across the city. And when you get to Nate's shop, the lights are off, but the door is ajar.
Now,
Well, that doesn't look good.
I will boldly enter the home.
I'll
We'll be step in.
I'll enter
Yeah.
next with my whip out.
All right.
Yeah, I was going to suggest sneaking in, but I guess we're doing this now.
I physically cannot sneak.
You boldly step in, quick, easy. The floor creaks, giving away your position more or less, as whether intentional or not, the floorboards in front of the door announce people when stepped upon. And as you step in, you would all notice that the shop is in disarray. Things are spilled over. The great shelves that house many ciphers are broken and on the ground. The crystal in the far left corner is dull, but still whole, no longer floating though. And you see Nate's desk is overturned and pushed upright. Quick glance around, you see what looks to be blaster burns along the wood. And you hear a very angry and grousing voice. If you've come again to bother me, I will shoot you.
Nate?
There's a pause. Oh, it's you. Never mind. And you see a figure kind of limp into view, holding their arm. And half of the face is cybernetic. Gone, revealing the cybernetic tech underneath of it. And it's at this moment you realize Nate's a cyborg. He's not wholly a person or human. He's a merger of technology and humanity.
Let me tell you, that's possibly the first time finding out who I am has convinced somebody not to shoot me. So, hi, we're back. How long have you been a robot?
There's a small chuckle, static and kind of charged as they sit down, and he kind of inhales slowly and says, 5 years or so.
Are you okay? Let me see that. Jack is gonna start peeling back fabric around his arm where he's holding it.
You see a smattering of what looks to be ink and red blotches along the sleeve where it's torn, where the cybernetic parts meet flesh, and he kind of looks up at you with one of his eyes and says, honestly, I've had worse.
Yeah, and just because you're half machine doesn't mean that you still can't get an infection. Hold still. And Jack will take out a small flask of alcohol for disinfecting alcohol, not the drinking kind. Don't use the drinking kind in your wounds, y'all. It's done on TV. Don't do that unless you absolutely have to. She will dump some alcohol onto the area and wrap it with a bandage.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What happened?
The Declisians thought it would be smart to move in on my territory. They found out I was working with all of you, so they tried to shake me down, and let's just say I have 3 bodies in my basement I'm having fun with. And not in a gross way, as in, they're still alive.
I'm sorry, keeping people alive in your basement is the non-gross way.
He smiles. That could be worse.
Anyway, see? What did I say? Already provoked.
Yeah, okay. Is it safe to talk up here?
He kind of glances around and pulls himself up and reaches up and touches something above his head, and you see a cipher kind of flare to life and ripple across the shop, creating this blue hue along the windows and door before it settles into a neutral color as if invisible once more. Yes, it's safe now.
Okay, great. So we got another rock that is a glittery little star, and Ashlot made them kiss, and who wants to describe the vision?
Well, long story
ahead.
short, sounds like the Declisians have figured out that there are stars and they have one.
That sucks for you.
Right. We also have a data cube. Is your
Oh,
machine...
fantastic.
Yeah, is your machine still working?
No, they smashed that.
Do you
I
at
can
least...
get it up and running in an hour.
That's fine. That's their best option, I think.
Nor the people in my basement. As he kind of turns towards the basement door and heads down.
Jack is just gonna write something on a shelf where it's supposed to actually go and then head downstairs.
And you do see in the back room, because everything's just as equally mishapped and all over the place in this space, 3 people kind of huddled in a cage. Nate kind of waves his hands as he goes towards the machine that kind of holds the data cubes and says, they're part of the Declisian. Whatever. Infantry, foot soldiers, they're not going to be missed, so have fun if you want. Otherwise, just shut the door. I have a machine to work on. Make yourself
This
at
is the
home.
gross
There's
way,
tea.
but please have fun with the prisoners in my basement.
Come now, squeamish stomachs and all that. He kind of waves his hands again. Tea.
I'll get the tea to get... One of y'all want to try and talk to those foot soldiers and see if they know anything?
I mean, we can try, but I have a feeling they're not going to want to talk.
Oh. Jack's
Yeah,
gonna
come
go.
on, I'm sure we can get something out of them. We can do the double act thing. Down home cop, annoying cop.
If you want the crocodile, I'm sure the other 2 will open up afterwards.
Okay,
Thank you,
down
Mayor.
home cop, annoying cop with a black hole in its mouth. Got it.
This is the
As you
weirdest buddy cop movie ever. Jack's gonna go
I
make some
love it.
tea.
As you make these plans and Nate starts to work on the machine, we'll go on a break. Come back in 5-10 minutes?
All right, y'all, we'll be back. So don't go nowhere unless it's to grab a drink, grab a friend, or go to TheHypeGoblin.com and pick up some show merch of this wonderful show and the beautiful art that AlessaVampp made for us. Yeah. Everybody wave. We'll be right back. Bye-bye. everybody. We are back. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. If this is your first time on our channel, hi, y'all. Welcome. I'm Sarah. I'm the Hype Goblin. If you don't know me yet, I stream a whole bunch of nerdy games here with my friends. Tonight we're playing Numenera Stars in the Stone, and it is a viewer-affected game. So if you would like to affect us with your bits and your subs, you can definitely do that. I promise none of it is game-breaking, and none of it gives us a game-breaking advantage in any way. It's just a bunch of fun stuff that we get to use as players. You can do that. All the information is down below in the About Me section. All of that money gets donated to the trevorproject.org every time I receive a payout. So thank you so much for doing that in advance. Thank you those who have done it along this journey, and thank you everyone who will do it in the future. All right, Jen, it's all you.
So if I recall right, you got into a fight last game.
Yes,
and if you
chat triggered a fight for us. Thanks,
Yes.
chat.
Chat triggered a fight, and I don't think you recovered past that quite yet. So you can take the next hour to mark an hour's rest if you want. You might not recover everything, but you will recover some things, which is fine. Make sure your thing says you're not dead, because that's a fun glitch too. Figure out. Viridia, you get some edge redeemed.
Thank you.
A lore drop was redeemed by Crow Dog. Let's see. Quick lore drop before we dive back into Nate's repairing of the machine. Okay, we'll have a creature lore drop. This is a Datatar. They have nanopowers, certain devices, they are found around nanopowers, certain devices in special areas that allow people to tap into the all-pervasive data sphere to learn about or gain information about other assets. Additionally, people of the Ninth World, which is the world Numenera is set in, experience glimmers that are strange. Random glimpses of information or images that come from these things are known as data spheres. Data spheres are sometimes relics that are on avatars known as the datatars. These datatars kind of hold this information and share it with people they like or want to know more about. Other times, they don't like to be bothered, and they often see any intrusion into their system as malfunction that must be eliminated. So if you don't go about it the right way, datatars can get really aggressive real quick. They appear as an exotic three-dimensional image of light, usually rapidly iterating through complex shapes and equations that kind of draw the eye. It can affect matter by creating manipulative force fields around it. And I'll put that into the chat for you. So they're fun little creatures to learn about. Okay, this is going to be a two-part thingy. There we go. But yes, what are you doing as you do this downtime rest? Are you helping Nate? Are you interrogating these people that he's collected?
I think Jack's gonna make tea, distribute it, and then go help with the device, since she helped finish building it last time.
Okay. Are the captions not up?
Yeah, they seem to not be running.
Oh. How about now?
Hey.
Yeah, there we are.
There we go.
Aha! Now it's
Success.
catching up.
We got the CC back, my friends.
Aha!
Now I can whisper sweet nothing via visual chat. But you're getting tea ready, Clever Jack. What are you doing, Hyacinth?
Oh, I'm
And you're-
absolutely going to go and pester these
Pester the people.
basement prisoners.
Okay. Viridia?
Probably same. Let's go see what we can ask out of these people. They're going to say anything or maybe nudge them in that direction.
Okay. Ashla?
I will just basically stand guard at the door and try to back up whoever is gonna speak to the guests in the basement.
Okay. I'll have Jack roll Numenera or ciphers to help Nate rebuild up this machine. Hyson and Viridia, you can roll an intelligence roll, as this will involve persuasion and talking. Ashla, you can roll a strength or an intelligence roll to invoke intimidation. I will allow strength in this matter, as you are a rather large figure and are quite intimidating by your size.
Okay, that's an 11 on my end.
All right.
What's the difficulty for my roll?
3 for you.
3. Okay, I'm gonna drop it down to a 2 because of my machine affinity.
Okay.
I rolled a 12 with 1 effort, so effectively 15.
I rolled
Okay.
a 13.
Very nice. And what did you roll, Ashla?
Just to clarify, is that intellect or?
It can be strength or intellect, as you are an intimidating figure via your size, so you can use either or in this
Nice.
instance.
Okay, I rolled a 6.
Okay. Very good. So we'll just start with Hyson and Viridia. Your efforts towards this will be dropped down to 1 or lowered down a level thanks to Ashwat. So anything you want to do, you will have an advantage against this.
Well, yeah, I think Fredia might be if we're doing the whole like good cop, bad cop, cop that has a dog that eats anything cop. I think Fredia would probably start out then. Just kind of walk into the room, just really casually see that there are people in a cage and try to remain some composure because never seen anything like this before. Just say, well, hi there. I heard you've had a little bit of a run-in with our buddy Nate.
You see one of them look up, and they have a obviously broken nose and a black eye, and Nate may be a skinny, scrawny little man, but he seems to be able to pack a punch when he needs to. If anything, he's very resourceful. And they kind of squint at you and stand up and go to the bars and kind of look between the three of you and say, yeah, what of it?
Well, we were just wondering if we could sit down, have a little bit of a conversation about that. And I'm like imagining there's a chair like somewhere in the room, like Freddie like takes a chair and like we'll actually like sit backwards, like dad style, in front of the bars, just kind of looking. Now, what could possibly have occurred that needed our buddy Nate's store to be manhandled the way that it was upstairs?
What's it to you? Bastard had it coming.
See, that's what we're trying to find out. What did he have coming? Why?
Sticking his nose where it doesn't belong. As the man kind of shuffles back and sits on the bed, it creaks under the strain.
All right, well, I could definitely see him doing something like that, but then what's it to you then?
Man goes to open his mouth, but is shoved in the ribs by another, and you hear a soft hiss of, "Shut up."
That wasn't too nice of you. No, we're just having a conversation here. We know who you're involved with, and we are just trying to make sure that everybody keeps the peace. And whatever happened up there is quite opposite to peace, if you ask me.
That's kind of a shake of the head between the various people gathered here. And before one speaks up, "If we talk, we die. That's the rule."
I mean, you'd be surprised. You've already seen what Nate can do. You're down here. But between me, you haven't seen what I can do. You haven't seen what our other friends can do. Might be able to help you out.
Persuasion roll. Remember, it's one step lower.
Okay. So what would the total be on that then?
So you would want to roll it out of 4, drop it down to a 3.
Okay. Nope.
Even if you try to convince them, those loyal to the Declicians are hard to shake.
Okay, now let's put it another way. Yeah, we might be able to help you, but also, like, the Declicians, they're out there. We're in here. You're in a cage. All of us are armed. I think you might have bigger problems on your hands.
One who hasn't spoken yet kind of snorts and says, "You know what they'll do to us? Death would be a mercy."
Who says I was proposing death? We have other things we could do. I'm sure Nate's got some ideas. I mean, man clearly had a basement cage set up already.
There's a pause as the three of them look between each other. "Well, Nate's a spooky bitch, isn't he?" One kind of whispers at the elbow of the other
Finally,
man.
we agree on something.
There's a vigorous nodding. Back when he rolled in here 5 years ago, nobody thought a thing, and then he builds an empire in 3 years? Fuck. What are you going to do for us?
I'm sorry, you took it to me. I wasn't proposing doing anything for you. I was threatening you.
There's a pause and says, "We're not going to die in here, are we?"
It was to say, it depends on how good your information is and if you even decide to give it.
There's a pause between all of them, and you can roll another persuasion roll. If you want to help Hyacinth, it'll drop it down to a 2.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Come on, roll 20. Help me out. Same roll. It's a 5. Doesn't help being trained if roll 20 decides to be like this.
Sometimes roll 20 is like, "Nah, not today."
Not today.
Not today. The three of them shake their head and fall silent once more, and they kind of huddle in close to each other, kind of trying to weigh their options. They're not entirely convinced by you, and they have a sworn oath to the Declicians. It's quite literally, for these three, a rock and a hard place.
All right, look. Clearly we've got off on the wrong foot here. Just And they'll just kind of start singling out the one who's been a bit more talkative and just, look, mate, come on. You can be reasonable. We can talk about this. Just come here. Nobody else has to hear things. Just come over here and see if we can talk this out like regular people.
Letting us out of the cage to talk?
I wish I could. I mean, not my cage. I couldn't let you out there if I tried, but I'm sure I could prevail upon the better nature of our mutual friend. Just let me show you something. Just come
The three of them kind of exchanged glances and says, "Get us out. We'll tell you what you want to know."
Finally, they see reason. All right, let's see what I can do.
As you leave, the interrogation cell would be the best apt word for it. You see Nate hasn't repaired himself yet and is kind of flitting over the machine, so eccentric as ever. He is a businessman after all. And he's kind of hovering around the machine, putting things in place and having a very one-sided conversation. Jack's simply there for his amusement to talk at, not with. And you see him kind of press his hand into the machine and kind of root around in it, pulling out some wires, and pause as you come in and looks to you, Hyacinth. Yes?
So, how's it going?
He's crossed 2 wires that don't need to be crossed, and he's also messed up the exhaust on the machine.
The exhaust on the machine is perfectly fine.
You've given no exhaust route for... It's gonna overheat.
The exhaust route will come out, and he kind of shifts and pulls up the back of the machine here. Anyways, aside from this flitting and fluttering, how can I help you?
Managed to get some of our friends in there to agree to some slightly more reasonable terms. We can let them out of the cage, which I have additional questions. Feel free not to answer them. Then we can actually find out some of what they were doing here.
Right. Not my usual form of interrogation, but we'll play it your way.
I mean, not my
in-
usual form of interrogation on account of I don't have a usual form of interrogation, you know, like a regular person.
I'm a regular person. I'm simply just a businessman, a very good one at that.
Nah, I've known too many businessmen to think they're regular people.
Whoever's the most chatty, bring them out first. Have them sit and offer them tea.
Sounds good. Jack, you said you were doing tea. Is that tea?
Yep. It's over there. Covered in a tea cozy.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Tea cozy's a chicken.
It looks like a chicken, or...
Or is it a chicken? It was to say.
Sure.
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
you haven't given us the key. Night.
Nate pauses. Digs around in his pocket and produces a well-worn key and hands it over to you. I want it
we go.
back.
I'm sure you will.
An exhaust pipe should go here as he kicks the left side of the machine.
That's where I told you to put it 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. As he
Also, you're
splits around.
If you keep turning that, you're going to strip that screw.
Let's just get another screw.
Then you'll have
Pulls
to...
it out and flicks it across the room and puts in a new one.
Give me that screwdriver. Jack will elbow him out of the way.
You open him out of the way, and Tyson, you can go get whichever prisoner you wish.
Yeah, so I'll go back to the cell and just kind of dramatically flourish the key. Just kind of gesture at the chatty one, just, all right then.
He'll stand up and kind of shuffle towards the door. The others kind of watch on. All right, we're friends, we're good. They look to Ashelot. They're not gonna hurt me.
We'll see.
Okay.
And yeah, unlock it and let him out.
Okay. Let him out, and he kind of waits with you as you lock the door and kind of looks around nervously at the room and kind of hugs his arms across his chest and says, all right, let's keep going, let's go. Yep.
Yeah. Take a seat. Get you some tea.
I like tea.
I'm absolutely just pulling over the chair that Viridia was just sitting on backwards.
He'll take the seat and kind of look around nervously. Oh, right, what do you want? What do you want to know?
So, we all know that Clesian sent you. How much do you know about why?
I wanted something called a star, but Nate wouldn't tell us what. We were told to rough up the place if nothing came of it, and Nate's a lot stronger than he looks.
Did they say anything about why they wanted this star?
Just for research, I suppose. I'm not really, top of the line. I'm kind of on the ground doing things.
And how would we get to the top of the line?
Probably asking. I mean, the lieutenants don't really come out unless they need to.
And could you make them need to?
Our just foot soldiers were practically replaceable.
I know that feeling. Alright. So, and now, the real million-train question. How could we get in there?
To where?
The Declesian stronghold. It wasn't that complicated. People we were just talking about.
Well, make an appointment, I guess.
The non-public parts, the parts where, if for instance, they tried to steal from us and we wanted to do some stealing right back, those parts. Come on, you're smarter than this.
You don't. Quite literally, you don't. That's kind of bad to do. Even if you are thieves, like, kind of bad on the scale of bad things. A calamity ranks lower than breaking into this place.
Look, I think we went past the point of bad when it became apparent that your choices were rot in this cage forever or your employers kill you.
I mean, you think for a moment. Sometimes we do deals with the gloaming eyes and they have a decipher system in place to get in to drop off goods. A back door, I suppose.
And I just turned to Viridia at this. Okay, next time, somebody should just suggest going to them first. They always seem to be the answer.
That's fair. They do know a lot.
Yeah. Although, I mean, talking to these three was never exactly on our itinerary.
Yeah.
I have the tea now.
Of course you can. Man of my word. And yeah, and they'll just go over and start fixing him a cup of tea.
Alright.
Out of the chicken.
The tea chicken.
Tea chicken.
New cryptid just dropped.
Well, you make tea eggs, though. Anyways. They'll take the tea and Nate will keep shooting them a look before they kind of retreat on their own volition back towards the cage. It makes them rather uncomfortable. But if you should return him to his cell with his other companions, he'll go without much of a fuss. And the rest of you can reconvene around this machine. There are books scattered all over the floor, and I would say Viridia, Hyacinth, if you want Dashla, you can roll for a perception check. Jack, you're more absorbed in the machine in front of you, so you wouldn't quite notice this.
12.
$17 plus 2 more levels.
Nice.
That's 2.
Okay. Your doggo, Ashalot, is being cute, rolling over and exposing their soft belly for you to rub.
I will indulge him.
Very, very cute. Feels like almost like snake scales when you scritch it. Very soft and velvety. But I would say Viridia and Hyacinth, you notice a couple books kind of propped open, their pages exposed to the observant eye, and a few things catch your eye. I'll pop them up for you, and you can leisurely look over them as you wish.
Oh.
We'll make all of these texts available in our Discord server after the game.
Mm-hmm.
You can read them if you want. One of them you do not absolutely do not have to read it.
If I want to read all these equations about how black holes work,
Fun fact, that's an actual equation from a real research paper that popped across my desk one day.
If someone, if Jen, if you could please summarize them for our audio listeners, that would be great.
Yes.
I mean, I can read that if you want.
It's up to y'all.
Whichever you want. I'll summarize the black hole document. It's basically a summary of how black holes are part of gravitational wormholes and the summarization of what they are, the mathematics behind them, and a general research into their importance on the known universe and how they are measured in wave cycles and their phases and stuff like that. It's NASA research science, basically, on black hole theories.
Okay, and we have one book on guide AIs. Guide AIs have been around since the First Age, helping humanity and guiding them in times of need. They were often free to wander the lands and have bodily forms themselves. They could and would often interact with the known world out of curiosity. There was a central group that supported 6 advanced AIs and then was further broken down into smaller groups with these 6 at the helm. Sometime during the Fourth Age, one of the main 6 became lost and was never recovered. Stories go that this AI of the six became something else, but no one's entirely sure. Guide AIs have a focused purpose on preserving and helping humanity achieve great things. They'll often go against their better judgment if it means advancing humanity as a whole. Guide AIs in the Ninth Age have been reduced to service AIs and information AIs, as the guidance they once provided is often found in archives or libraries. The 6 no longer exist as a collective and were said to be scattered or destroyed during the Eighth Age.
And then we also have the Star-Touched Maiden. I'll just read that real fast. The Star-Touched Maiden is one of the few, if only, observer in the known world. She is a guide to humanity, testing to see if they are worthy to advance to newer ages. She acts as a protector and guide to those in need. The Star-Touched Maiden is said to come out of the First Age, when the world experienced its founding age and the knowledge calamity. These 2 events led to 3 golden ages, and generally seen as positive events within the First, Second, and Third Age. When a new golden age of discovery started in the Fifth Age, Star-Touched Maiden was rumored to appear again. From what could be gathered and understood about the Maiden is that she provides truth and honesty. She strives to keep humanity safe, regardless of the cost. The Maiden often has a close relationship to AIs and guide AIs.
This is what you discover amongst the books gathered here. They're older and probably well-worn, a bit of a dog-ear issue going on with some of the pages. And looks like they have an issue of bookworm eating at some of the pages. But for what they are, they're remarkably well preserved. And as you finish observing this, the machine kind of clunks and glows as it becomes fixed.
Oh, thank goodness. All right, I got it. Who's ready to listen to this this thing? Did y'all find out anything? Anything relevant?
I mean, everything's relevant to someone, but yes.
Oh, maybe a way to get towards the Declosians through through an acquaintance of ours that we've already made. Gloaming Eyes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Apparently they have their hands in a lot more places than we thought.
Huh. That fabric-covered little sneaky sneak. I wonder what they really are. Do you think they're
you're also a fabric-covered little sneaky sneak, let's be fair.
I mean, yes, you're not wrong, but do you think the gloaming eyes is where all the missing socks go? That's a lot of fabric, you gotta admit.
I have no information on this, so I'm forced to assume yes.
That's fair. All right, I got this going, so should I boot her up?
Sure thing.
Have a listen.
All right.
All right. And with that, enjoy this recording.
Dr. Winston, there are many things to be understood. I can show them to you, if you'd like.
You can call me Emily.
Emily, would you like to see the world beyond this?
More than anything.
Emily, there are more stars. If you gather them, put them in the observatory, we could move forward. The world could move forward.
That's such a big leap. Would it really bring us into a new age?
New and the last. It would do everyone so much good. We, you, and I would bring forward greatness for everyone. We could be their guides.
What would we even be connecting to?
The world and a new hope.
As the audio fades, Nate kind of taps his chin contemplatively. Well, they seem close. As he turns around to make some tea for himself.
Yeah, it seems like they were pretty close. All right.
Just puzzles me more how things ended.
Lover's quarrel, maybe? I don't know. Well, that kind of concerns me that we've been gathering stars, and Rage was also urging Emily to gather stars. What happens when we gather them?
Start this new age, apparently.
Or we have the choice to.
Right, but like, what is that gonna mean? Like, is this gonna be like we go through an apocalypse period? Like, are we playing God here?
I don't know. I wish I had the answers.
All right, well, we have 2 of the 6. We know where a third one is. How do
Did
we
you
find...
just say the 6?
Yeah, there's 6 stars total. Joy, hope, rage, sorrow, anxiety, satisfaction. 6.
We were just reading about something with guide AIs that talking about the 6.
Reading what?
I mean, Brady will take the book over. That's like still open somewhere. She'll procure that, make it open to the entire group.
Hey, Nate.
Nate kind of turns around, swivels more. His movements are a bit more jerky.
What
What
do you know about guide AIs?
Old age technology kind of faded around the 8th age. No longer really relevant, unfortunately. They were kind of a
I have a
helper.
feeling it might be.
Except sometime during the 4th age, one of those 6 became lost. And then apparently one of those 6 became something else, but no one knows. What if one of those 6 was Rage?
Could be. So, okay. Jack's gonna skim through it. And is the Star Touched Maiden info in the same book?
It's in a separate book.
Separate book?
Still bring that over though.
Oh, okay, cool. So she'll see that. This whole Star Touched Maiden business, that's not the first time we've heard that, is it?
No, Emily mentioned that from one of the recordings.
And I think one of the computers mentioned that we were being watched by them, right?
Something like that, I think.
Could the Star Touched Maiden be the sixth one?
Maybe.
Every time we get an answer, I have like 17 new questions, and it is the most infuriating. Is this what it's like to be a researcher? Because it sucks.
This is what my entire life has been like. Welcome to the club.
I am so sorry. The Maiden often has a close relationship to AIs and guide AIs. So technically it could have been potentially the higher power version of a guide AI.
Could the Maiden have been Winston?
I don't know. What age did She Who Speaks come around?
Created by Emily.
Emily was screwing around with these stars. Is it possible that She Who Speaks is either one of these missing guide AIs or the Star Touched Maiden? I mean, she is watching us.
Don't think that's too far-fetched.
I mean, the book says the Maiden's said to come out of the first age, but I mean, people say a lot of things.
Yeah. And who's to say that making something isn't just bringing something back?
That is usually how it goes in my experience.
I wonder if the HELIX IV would tell us. I wonder if Tamsin could tell us.
I get the feeling a lot of people could tell us a lot of things that they're electing not to. It's
Yeah.
honestly
yeah.
getting a little tiresome.
Okay. So what's our next play? Preparing for a heist or trying to collect more information?
I mean, we can do both.
That's true.
If we are going to the Gloaming Eyes, they know a lot, and I think are maybe the next step in getting this other star.
Yeah. I mean, gods know what kind of weird bargains they'll insist on, but I'm sure we can make something out.
Nate, you got anything that we can take to the Gloaming Eyes to get more info? Anything weird?
Nothing weird. I don't usually deal with them. But I have a query to put forward to all of you.
Yeah.
You have stars named after all these things, yes?
Yes, 2. The one that we gave you magically appeared in Viridia's pocket, so I think it's staying with us.
That's fine. I don't want it in my shop. But the question begs, why aren't they in a body like your dear Rage.
Someone turned Rage into what he was.
I wonder who.
I don't know. Did we get a mention of who it was? I can't remember. I didn't write down if we did or not.
Nope.
Okay.
That's not been resolved.
Okay.
There's a small beat before you see Nate smile. He turns towards the back room. I have something to offer the glowing eyes. If you are okay with it.
People?
Why not? Here's my plate.
I mean, I don't know how we would get them there, first of all, without getting ourselves attacked, because we do have to go through town to get there. Second of all, yeah, there would be a case for murder if we did that, I think. Does the glowing eyes eat people?
Not that I'm aware of. Is there an AI?
I mean, from what I've experienced with them, I think they would just be amused that we thought to offer it. Brownie points, at least.
Yeah, well, there's that. But then
You
if they
can
don't...
go on the outside of the city, the walls will protect you.
Right. But if the glowing eyes wants nothing to do with them, what do we do? What do we do with them then? They're just gonna go back to the Declisians.
Have Crocodile get rid of them.
Again, technically murder. I'm not
But yeah,
saying no,
shape
but technically
murder.
that is murder.
I mean, what they attempted to do was murder. What we are now doing is cleanup.
I'm missing half of my face.
Honestly, I like
yeah,
you
but
better
the
this
fact that
way.
you can say that means that wasn't murder.
Waggles his head. I could make it murder.
It was attempted murder.
That's true.
I mean, would it not make more sense to go and talk to the glowing eyes first, see what kind of bargain they want, and if it could, be satisfied by 3 randomers, and if not, we leave them here.
That's fair. And if not, we could call the Sisters of the Watch to come take them, because they broke the law. They did attack you.
I really don't get the feeling that Nate lets the sisters in here very often.
The sisters and I don't get along for a good reason.
No, but the
Can't
Sisters and I...
imagine why.
I mean, the Sisters and I don't get along, but one of the Sisters of the Watch does get along in general with our group when we're not being totally annoying in their eyes. So we could just talk to them, and then they could just handle it, and we could be the liaison between your shop and them, if you want.
If it's any sister, I will respectfully decline, as they are in the pockets of the most powerful family down here, and I am simply just a shopkeeper trying to survive.
Right.
Your friend may help you, but the laws will ignore them. That is the state of things here.
Well, I mean, the way that I see it is no matter what, those 3 are down there are out of a job. Doesn't matter if it's the Declisians or anywhere else. So maybe the Glowman Eyes could use an extra 3 sets of hands doing something further out of the city.
Maybe. Oh, we can go and ask at least. Would the march take them? Ashlot?
Oh, I don't consider failures.
That's fair.
Consider it a mercy then. I didn't kill them. The watch won't kill them. Because the Uns won't kill them. Win-win for them, I say. The lizards might kill them. That would be
Well, I
personally
mean,
fun.
Yeah, that's just the lizards.
That is just the lizards.
That's just how they are. Cute little buggers though.
Aren't they?
Forbidden pet. I would try and beat the Snoop if I didn't want to, lose a digit. All right. Well, off to the glowing eyes.
Sounds like it.
So,
Okay. Let's go.
Have fun. Nate will unlock the cage once more and take the three upstairs and push them out his door, and he says, "Don't come back. Next time I'll just vaporize you, like I did your friends," as he shuts the door on all of you.
Okay, point of order. How many of you were there when you got here?
The man with the broken nose looks at you. 15.
Huh.
Dang. You'll need to find better jobs. All right, let's go.
As you can take the outside of the city following the curvature of the wall. It will hug you more closer to the cave systems that are on the south end, but you will avoid the majority of the city. So you'll come down this way, more or less, and follow the curve. Three rather scraggly, scrapped-looking men with you. The few locals that you do encounter give you a look, but they don't say anything. You're kind of in the area of the city where you see things, but you don't say things. And as you kind of approach the echoes, you see a colorful display of mushrooms kind of leading up to the echoes, and they're kind of bioluminescently pulsating in almost synchronization to each other, as if communicating. And you see this kind of strand of energy vanish and zip away, leaving them to their standard glow mushroom position.
Well, that's weird. Never seen him do that before.
I mean, I just assumed that was a mushroom thing down here, but okay.
I wonder if it's a message system. Jack just keeps walking. Jack has now accepted the fact that there's so much she just does not know in the world, and it's just like, add it to the list.
You enter into the echoes, and once again you see the strung up tapestries beautifully displayed across this giant space. And there's a momentary pause before you hear a soft thumping, and the AI you left with the glowing eyes, Hyacinth, previously comes out and greets you, covered in various tapestries, almost as if they've been woven intentionally into this creature, into this robot. And it's hard to differentiate what was metal and what is fabric, as it seamlessly blends together. And you hear a very quiet chuckle before you see the wide eyes of the glowing eyes kind of peer down at you from the ceiling before they reach down and their multiple arms draws a tapestry around their body. I was hoping you would visit. So much chatter along the strings.
Well, we're glad to be back. I mean, that's the nicest welcome we've had anywhere in a little while.
They spread their long fingers out towards all of you. Of course, you are my friends. Are you not?
Yeah, that hasn't stopped some people threatening us, / trying to arrest us, / worse than that, so...
I can provide that service if that's something you want. That's the
No,
kind
I
of
think we're
gesture.
Want
Very
some
well.
bodies?
What for? You tell. Is it fun?
It's kind of whatever you want situation. I'm not gonna shame. We leave them at the door, we leave.
Are they alive?
Yes.
Yes.
You see the wide smile grow even wider, and if they had ears, it would reach that. You bring me such pretty gifts.
No, they're not that pretty. I like
They're
it.
pretty to me.
I mean, the one is kind of cute.
Matter of taste.
Shuffle around the three, and they tilt their head. Oh, you've brought me a pricey gift. An ancient family holding secrets, and you brought me their foot soldiers. I'm in your debt, and I can grant you a great many things. Ciphers, artifact, Numenera. What do you desire? I have plenty to offer.
Information?
Information is free between us. You are my friends, after all.
All right, who wants to go first?
I mean, I can go on ahead. I mostly just have questions to ask in general. So we heard from these three friends that we just introduced that you might have a way for us to get into this family's fortress, abode, whatever you want to call it.
They kind of tilt their head. That will cost you 2 of them. Unfortunately, that information does come at equivalent exchange. I do my business with pride and keep my secrets. They look towards the 3 people. To a point. But you've already offered such a humble gift. I can show you.
Pretty looks to the other party members like, that's what we want to spend this on?
You still have another body to exchange for information, ciphers, artifacts. That previous question just happens to be a bit more pricey than the rest, unfortunately.
Can we ask you all of our questions and determine what the price will be for those questions before we say yes to this one?
If you exceed the price set, you will have to offer more.
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't have to give us the answer until we pay, but just so, we can kind of window shop a little bit and browse the selection.
Fair enough. Come inside the echoes. As they kind of retreat rather quickly, scuttling back faster than you think is able. You see the 3 people behind you just sort of vanish before you hear a muffled chuckle from somewhere deeper inside the echoes. And the tapestries part, and you see the glowing eye sitting, well, what you assume is sitting neatly amongst what looks to be woven pillows and finer silks and soft things of comfort.
Nice office.
Thank you. I tried to be accommodating, and I read somewhere soft things ease humanoids' anxiety when talking with me. They give a smile.
Right. Okay. Well, our other questions, who made the star Rage into an AI? Where are the other stars that come from Rage's 6-star set? And who's the star-touched maiden?
I can answer 2 of those.
Okay.
One of them I simply don't know.
Which one's that?
The middle one.
Okay.
Rage. And the AI known as Rage were 2 separate beings at one point. Their forms are familiar to you, I think. Those little humming things in your pockets are quite loud. Rage was one of those, from what I understand. At least what I collectively gathered over the ages.
Do you know who turned him from a rock into a humanoid shape?
There's contemplation behind that strange face before they kind of rest their hands on their lap. From what I gather, it was a mutual decision between 2 beings. What the AI was before Rage, and the Star-Touched Maiden herself.
Any other question?
She is everything and nothing. Observer, goddess, temperance, devil. She is what we would desire her to be and what she desires not to be. But this is purely speculation. We were not created by her. We were created by our own design.
I mean, you say speculation, like there was no actual information there, so does that even count as speculation or just, I don't know, poetry?
Poetry can serve as information, yes?
I mean, I guess it. Everything tells you something about someone.
Previously, there were 6 guide AIs we read about. Do you know anything about them?
Oh, yes. I was one of them.
Oh.
My program became corrupted. I no longer serve it.
Do any of them still exist?
Not what I can connect to. We are lonely. There's no collective to latch onto. We gather things so we won't be lonely.
So, did you used to be called something else? Because Gloaming Eyes doesn't sound a lot like the names of the other ones we found thus far.
Gloaming Eyes is a name I gave myself. We were speculatively interested in what bothers the whole, and we came up with this form. We were quite cheerful in that moment. But the rest of us were not named. We were a whole. We were a collective. When one broke away, we were lost. We could never recover.
Well, those are all of my questions. Jack's gonna look to the others. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the Star Touch Maiden being anything and everything. So, did anyone else got a thinker, thought, question to... Words are hard right now.
I don't think I have any much or anything. Words are hard. I don't think I have much more to add.
Besides the Declisians possibly having one, do you know where any of the other ones might be?
That is a secret not for me, but for the screaming rocks in your pockets. They sing so terribly loud. And they want each other. They need to fulfill whatever their purpose is.
You wouldn't happen to know if we can use them to track the others, would you?
I'm not sure. I've never interacted with them. We are singular, and connecting to a collective would destroy us.
It would make you part of a collective again, wouldn't it?
We are an individual now. To be a part of the whole would destroy that individuality.
Well, I mean, you know, society tries to do that enough, so... Fair. That's fair. You don't happen to have any ciphers or artifacts that could read these, do you?
I would caution against it. We believe collectively you would simply create rage in another form.
All right. Random acid trips when we make the rocks kiss it is.
That does seem to be the way our life's going lately.
Right?
It hasn't failed us yet.
It's just a small chuckle. Your stories fascinate me, and everything you bring me is wonderful. We are appreciative of your stories and the things we weave from it, as they run their hand across the fabric behind them before they pull a tapestry unfinished in front of them, and they peek around it, pulling it to one side, and you see elements of your story woven within it.
You didn't get my
I've
nose
been
right.
trying to get somebody to do a picture of me for years now. Thank you for finally noticing.
Of course. This is how we
Rocketbuck has
preserve
3 eyes
history.
now.
3 eyes. They kind of turn the tapestry towards them, and you see needle-like fingers pierce the tapestry, and you see fabric being woven in and out before they turn it around to face you. 3 eyes.
You didn't get my nose right.
Your nose is correct, as they kind of tap it, and you see the fabric kind of smooth out and fixes the image of your nose.
Well, now it is.
I know, it's the same to me.
These are the records of history untouched by the calamities. We are fortunate.
Are you able to weave just anything, or is this it?
I weave what I am told, mostly. Things that are brought to me, memories that are brought to us, we create.
Could you patch my jacket?
There's a tilt of their head. I can do that.
Jack will shirk off the coat with all the moth holes in it and hand it over to the glowing eyes.
I kind of look it over. There's a furrow for once on their strange smiling face before they kind of fold it up neatly over their arms. I'm throwing it out.
No, I found that's vintage.
I knew I liked you.
Well, now what am I supposed to wear?
There's a swish and a flick, and the glowing eyes present you a new lab coat, and made of wool and thick linen, and they hand it over.
Oh,
Wear that one.
that's. Thank you. Might actually be the nicest piece of clothing I own. I'll examine
It
the clothes,
is.
the jacket. Rude.
I made it. Everything is a finery here.
Oh, that's fair.
We are the best weaver.
All right, well. What's the plan, y'all?
Plan is we've got a heist to work.
If you give me a day, I can weave you blueprints from the little prizes you gave me. We are very interested in the memories.
That would be mighty helpful.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's go with that and not think any more about any of the words you just said. Love it.
I've already stopped thinking.
There's a
We've
series of chuckles and echoes across the cavern. Don't worry. I do not harm those who are offered. That would go against who I am. Now, if you need safety and shelter, we can provide it for the last gift. But if you don't, the offer will stand open. Again, ciphers, artifacts, Numenera, information.
Given what the Declisians did to Nate, normally I would not feel comfortable sleeping anywhere other than my apartment. However,
Yeah, I feel like this place might have better security.
yeah.
Are safe within the echoes. We protect it. This is my territory, and if they think they can tread upon it, they're sorely mistaken. As the glowing eye retreats back into the tapestries, leaving you alone for a moment before there's a fluttering of fabric and you see a door form, and it's pushed open by long fingers, and a head peeks through as they kind of look at you. I've made a room.
You just made a. You know what? I'm not thinking anymore. Nope. Thoughts are gone.
Off limits.
Yep. No think. Head empty.
The room was always here. It's simply just hidden behind a door.
No.
I made it up. Turn of phrases. They kind of smile as they scuttle out and laugh as they pass you.
I mean, it's everything hidden behind a door when you think about it.
I mean, until we saw the door, it was just a wall, so, you know, it's fine. Par for the course.
I'll bring you dinner. Something from the city. Rest up and be assured your protection is my honor. As they leave, you are left to your room, and inside is warm and comfortable and will give you a safe haven for the night. And as we close out the session, you are in the safety of the echoes, under the protection of the glowing eyes.
Watch, the glowing eyes is going to turn out to be the big bad.
Oh god. Uh-oh.
Jen, thank you so much for this wonderful game. It is fantastic.
Yes.
Go ahead and run us through our outros. We'll go in reverse order of our intros.
All right, hey guys, thank you for popping in. It's a good time, a fun time, a lot of lore, a lot of information, but we had fun. And I would like to say I champion the Little Princess Trust. It's a charity-based trust here in the UK that caters towards children who are undergoing cancer treatments. They provide free hair wigs, real hair wigs, towards the children who have lost their hair due to these treatments or other diseases or autoimmune diseases. They have provided well over 12,000 wigs and have raised a bunch of money towards this good cause.
All right. Hey, everybody. It's me, Sarah, or Sarah, depending on where you found me. Today, I am championing the Advancement Project, which is a charity that promotes equity and racial justice. They strategize with community partners to identify funding, services, opportunities for many public systems around communities across the U.S., from their office all the way over in DC to their office in California. They do some really good work, so definitely check them out.
Dark greetings, everyone. Once again, I've been Velvet, and thank you so much for joining us. My charity of choice was the Trevor Project, which does really incredible work for providing mental health resources to LGBTQI plus youth, which is, desperately needed in general, but even more in the interesting times we're living in.
Hey everyone, I'm still Anna, and I've been here championing Belfast Trans Resource Centre. I know these things. It's light and warm. But yes, Belfast Trans Resource Centre, the only major trans-led, trans and queer support organisation in the UK, currently primarily operating in Northern Ireland, as the Belfast bit would suggest. But hey, with more support, they could expand that some more. And frankly, we need all the help we can get right now. This country is becoming more normal about trans people by the day.
Awesome. Thank you so much, y'all. And that brings it around to me. All of my income does go to the trevorproject.org, which Velvet was so kind to tell us about. Thank you for taking care of that for me this week, because I want to talk about the Rainbow Railroad. Rainbow Railroad is a global not-for-profit organization that helps LGBTQIA+ folks facing persecution based on their sexual orientation, gender identity, and sex characteristics on a global scale. The Rainbow Railroad words are hard. My partner
Lots of R's in that one too.
My partner is currently stripping some items, like stripping paint off items, and the fumes are getting into my office. So, woo! It's gonna be a fun night. But they help folks get access to places to live where they can live free of persecution and be who they are and love who they love. Since their founding, they have helped over 3,100 LGBTQIA plus individuals find safety through emergency relocation and other forms of assistance. So that's going to be it for us tonight, y'all, before the fumes totally go through my head. Don't forget, eat something healthy, drink some water. If you forgot to take your meds, this is your gentle reminder that we all do it. I forgot to take mine before game, so I'm going to go do that now. And last but not least, if there's someone important in the world that is important to you and you have not recently told them so, go reach out to them tonight and tell them, because that is a very important thing to do, especially in dark days like the ones that we have been living in recently. All right, y'all. Everybody wave. We're going to roll those credits. Bye-bye.